Welcome back to OpenLine. We are talking about Reconnect Tennessee, how adults can go back to school, get a post-secondary degree or credential free. So this is a major thing that Tennessee is doing. We're the only state in the country that offers this kind of opportunity, and we're kind of just want to hear from you about your thoughts, maybe your situation, whatever the case may be. Laura Ward is with us, the director of Middle Tennessee Reconnect, and let's just go to Evan. Hello, Evan.
Well, this Tennessee Reconnect Fund pays discounted tuition, which is currently $70 at National State or TSU for disabled students who can't seek gainful employment.
It covers tuition at Nashville State starting in the fall of 2018. And we're not sure about associate degree programs at other schools. Right now they're kind of writing the rules for the legislation that was just passed. So we're kind of waiting to see about some other four-year schools, but right now it will pay for tuition at a community college, a state community college.
And it sounds like he's asking about disabled students who can't find employment. What about that situation? So they go to a four-year school, and whether they're disabled or not, they can't find employment. Right. What do they do?
I would recommend a couple of different things. There are a couple of agencies in Nashville or nonprofits that assist with that kind of placement and employment, but I would also recommend they visit the Career Services Center at Nashville State Community College and the Disability Services Office and see, you know, what kind of support they can provide both in the classroom, which is what Disability Services does at Nashville State, but then also in the placement area to make sure, because that addresses another issue about employment after graduation. You have to make sure as an adult that you're choosing the right program. We hear a lot about this is the wage you can expect if you have an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree or a certificate, but if you're not choosing the right certificate, you're not going to fall into that wage range. So making sure that you're in the right program is another important thing, and a Reconnect advisor can help with that as well.
So what would you recommend right now? What are some of the right programs? What's hot out there?
Well, the pathways we talk about the most, I would say, are healthcare. There's always incredible opportunities there. Information technology, advanced manufacturing. There's a great need for folks who have just a little bit of training beyond high school, and they can go into jobs that pay, you know, a living wage or a wage that could support a family, and then construction technology, especially in the Nashville area. There's a great need for skilled construction workers, and any of those skilled trades, there's a lot of opportunity there.
All right, let's go to Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hey.
Hello. What's on your mind?
You know me, I live out by Fairview, like right on the border of Davies County, Williamson County. Now, this in Franklin, where I do a lot of research, you know I work for the Nashville Retrospect History paper, and for the Franklin Community College, I took one semester of graduate school at the University of Illinois, at Southern Illinois University. And my grad degree, I just took my GRE exam, and I just took history, theater of history, like. And now, could I go out there at Franklin Community College and take some courses? Is Franklin Community College under your program?
Well, it's Columbia State, I think, is the school you're referring to.
Yes.
And according to the legislation, if you already have an associate's degree or better, you are not eligible for a Reconnect grant. That said, if you wanted to go to a Tennessee College of Applied Technology, any adult, no matter what your attainment level, is eligible to go to a TCAT for free. So if you have a PhD in economics and want to go to a TCAT and get a certificate in welding, you are welcome to do that.
And a TCAT, what is that again? Now, what is
Tennessee College of Applied Technology.
Okay.
And there's 27 TCATs located around the state, and they're intentionally community-based schools so they can be responsive to the workforce needs of the community. So here in Nashville, the TCAT offers advanced manufacturing and other programs related to the workforce needs. And at TCAT Murfreesboro, they have megatronics, advanced manufacturing, and other programs related to the needs of Rutherford County.
When you talk about megatronics, okay, you've said that a couple times. What is that? What is megatronics?
It's beyond my knowledge.
It sounds good.
But it's related to engineering. So the engineering things that happen in a manufacturing facility, that if I could talk about them, I would be a lot smarter.
And the other one you're talking about is technology, applied technology or something. That's one of the other fields where people
advanced
are really... Advanced
manufacturing.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and then the IT.
That's all out there. You could get something like that how quickly? You go to a...
In 6 to 18 months. The longest certification at a TCAT is around 18 months, and that would be like an LPN certificate.
And now what is an LPN?
Licensed professional nurse.
Okay.
So you could go into the healthcare field. And the great thing about a lot of these credentials is they're stackable. And so we talk about a stackable credential a lot. So a megatronics certificate from a TCAT, you can go into Motlow State Community College and get an associate's degree in megatronics using a Reconnect grant. You wouldn't have to pay tuition. And then if you went to Middle Tennessee State University, you could get a bachelor's degree in megatronics, basically an engineering degree. And all of these programs that stack upon one another mean that in your career you're growing, you're earning jobs of greater, that pay you more, and at the end of that you're in a career, you're in a lifetime career that if anything were to happen in your job and you lost your job, you could go somewhere else and get another job of equal or better pay, most likely. So that's what we mean when we talk about a stackable credential that leads to a career.
And what are you hearing from employers right now? If you do that, if you invest the time, what's the likelihood you're going to get a job? I mean, are you seeing everyone get a job? Are you seeing most people? What's the likelihood that's really going to happen?
Well, I would say the placement rates out of a TCAT are very good, in the 90% range. So employers are hungry for skilled workers. The missing piece for a lot of folks are those soft skills. And so, you know, showing up on time, being able to participate collaboratively in a team, and those sorts of things. And so I think all of our educators from middle school up are trying to address that issue. But if you have the skills and abilities and can complete an interview, then yes, you can get a job.
And you're talking about, when you say soft skills, that's interesting. You're saying things like showing up on time.
Yeah.
So there's a problem with that.
Well, I think when you're not, you have to show up to school on time, but they're still going to take you at school even if you don't show up.
Right,
there's not really, there are consequences to not showing up on time. But I think when you don't have work experience, or you have not had a positive experience at work, then you may not have the skills. But attending school does produce some of those skills, because when you work in a classroom or even in an online class, you have to do some collaboration. And so you do learn those skills as you go along. If
you show an employer that you're willing to stick to it enough to get this degree or credential, then that speaks volumes.
Absolutely.
That means you're going to show up.
Well, completing any sort of training program or a degree program shows that you have that something that an employer's looking for.
So we're going to take a break. If you want to call in with a question, comment, talk about your situation, whatever it may be, give us a call. There's the number, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. Take a break. Be back right after this.